How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's stick mobility class. I am Coach Ray. Thank you for joining me. Now, for today's class, I do have one short stick with me and also have one long stick. So the focus of today's class is mainly going to be on recovery. So we're going to kind of work through everything from the feet all the way up to the neck and shoulders. We just really kind of want to add in a little bit of activation with everything, but not too much. We are going to be spending some time in the 90-90s and working on loosening up the hips, both with internal and external rotation. But again, we're not gonna actually add a ton of tension in. We're just trying to actually get some activation and then just kind of go through recovery that way. Sound good? All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm gonna start with the short stick here, and I'm gonna take a stance a little wider than shoulder width. Now from here, I wanna start at the feet, and what I wanna do from this position is I wanna have the stick in line with my center line here, hands roughly about shoulder height. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do some foot and ankle drills, but we're going to add in some rotation along with it. All right, so the stick is going to be that rotating axis. So from here, hands are about shoulder height. I'm going to squat down a little bit, and then I'm going to bring both heels up. Then I'm going to bring both heels down, nice and slow. Hover the heels off the floor, both heels up. Good, down, nice and slow. Hover both heels. Back up. Good, trying to get everything warmed up. All 5 toes in contact with the floor. Down. Good, back up. Excellent, one more time. Down and back up. Good, hold that top position. We're gonna use the stick to rotate side to side. So I'm gonna lightly drive that stick down about 15%. And I'm just gonna rotate my shoulders and the stick going to the side, but I'm not actually leaning over or moving my hips. I'm keeping everything stable as I rotate side to side. Only work with the range I have available to you. You don't want to feel like you're compensating here. Rotate to the left. Keep driving that stick down. Keep those heels up. Rotate to the right. Excellent. Let's go again each way. Rotate to the left. Excellent. Now we're going to rotate to the right. Excellent. Back to center. Bring those heels down and ease off. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to get into pelvic tilts. So we're just going to segment from pelvic tilts, anterior, posterior, into lateral, and then we're going to actually go directly into 90-90s. So from here, I'm actually going to take a little bit wider stance than we did before. So if you look from the front, my stance is going to be out relatively wide, so we want to split the hips a little bit. So I have the stick angled in towards me here. I'm going to switch my hands, keep them stacked at roughly about chest height. From here, I'm going to squat down a bit, make sure the pelvis is stacked under the spine. I'm going to drive the stick down, and I'm going to do a posterior tilt. So I'm going to tuck my pelvis, squeeze my glutes, drive those knees apart, abduct the hips. And now I'm going to do anterior tilt. Go the opposite way. You should feel those lower back tissues tighten up here. Posterior tilt. Keep those shoulders down. Anterior tilt. You want as little movement from that mid and upper spine as possible. Posterior tilt. Anterior tilt. Posterior tilt, anterior tilt, one more time, posterior tilt, anterior tilt. Excellent. Back to center. Now I'm going to keep a slight posterior tilt. I'm going to do lateral hip bumps. So I'm going to bump my left hip up first, feel that left glute squeeze, and bump the right hip up. Excellent. Bump the left hip up. Good, then right hip. Keep that posterior tilt. Left hip up. Bump the right hip. Good, left hip. Right hip. One more time each way. Left hip. And right hip. Excellent, and ease off. Now we're going to get into the 90-90s here. So I'm going to pick up the long stick, And so whatever hip happens to be tightest, we can kind of check here, right? If you want to start on your tight hip, you totally can. So for me and myself, I know that typically it's a little bit tougher with my left hip in front. So I'm actually going to start with my left hip in front here. And I want to get as close to a 90-90 position as I can get. So if you want to go with the shin angle, because maybe that's a little bit too uncomfortable, you can go with a shin box just to maintain that position here. So from here, what I want to do, we're going to start off without using the wall because we are going to use the wall in a second. Now, I want to have my left hand on the floor. I want to have my right hand about roughly right in front of my belly button here. Now, what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to drive both legs down about 20%, and then I'm going to hinge forward. Excellent. Hold. Now drive yourself up off that front leg. Good. Hinge forward again. Keep driving those legs into the floor. Both legs, 20%. Get some activation. Drive yourself up off that left leg. Excellent. Go again one more time. Good. Drive yourself up and ease off. We're going to switch over to the other side because I want to warm up both hips here. So now for me, my right leg is forward and I have my right hand down. The stick is in front of my belly button here. Same thing. Drive both sticks down or both legs down. Drive the stick into the floor. You want to go about 20%. You want to hinge. Should be getting a stretch in that glute. Push yourself up off that front leg. Go again. Push. Excellent. One more time. Keep driving both legs down. Excellent. Push up and ease off. Perfect. Now I'm going to switch sides again. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to face this way. And what I want here is I want to use a wall. I'm going to be driving the stick into the wall here. This is going to help me not only prop myself up, but this allows us to create some tension in that lateral or frontal plane to be specific. So I want to have both legs set up here, have the stick into the wall. Now from here, I want to have my arms straight. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to drive the stick into the wall, 30%, drive both legs down, hold, 3, 2, 1, ease off. Good. We're going to do that again. Push, drive the stick into the wall, drive both legs into the floor, 30% only. Again, we're just trying to add in some activation here and ease off. Let's go one more time here, folks. Drive the stick into the wall, drive those legs down. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Now we're going to switch sides. So again, a lot of this focus here is just to open those hips up, add in some tension to that internal, external rotation of the hip. So place it there, arms straight. All right, so first thing, drive the stick into the wall, drive both legs down. Good, you're pushing with both arms here. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Let's go 2 more, arms straight, and push. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, ease off. One more time, arms straight, and push. 3, 2, 1, and ease off. Excellent. So now I'm going to face back forward again. I'm going to have my left leg forward. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to use the stick to effectively leverage under that back foot here. So if I turned this direction here, I'm going to use the stick I'm going to use the end of the stick, place it under my right foot. Now I actually have the stick kind of going in front. So what I can do here is I can actually drive the stick down, and that's going to create some tension, at least to getting some demand on a little bit of external rotation of this back hip. Sounds contradicting, but it'll work out here. So arm is straight, and what I want to do is I want to push that end of the stick down. I want to drive that foot into the floor, drive the knee into the floor. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to ease off, only going about 30% tension, nothing too significant. All right, we're going to go again. Push down, resist, create that isometric tension. You're going to feel those deeper inner hip muscles working here, folks. I'm going to ease off. Let's go one more time. Good. Create that tension. Resist it. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Excellent. Now we're going to do here, instead of resisting that tension, now we're actually going to try to actively internally rotate, but we're going to use the stick as a way to assist that active rotation. So from here, go ahead and adjust again. I'm going to internally rotate that hip, pushing the stick down, hold, 3, 2, 1, back down, nice and slow, ease off. Let's go one more time. Internally rotate, drive the stick down, hold, 3, 2, 1, good, ease off, and let's switch sides. So the cool thing about this is we can actively gain extra mobility here by actually just using a little bit of isometrics here and there by not only loading the hip in one way or creating that tension in one way, but creating in the opposite direction too. So that's why we're going both directions here, folks. So I'm going to get set up the same way. All right, make sure your setup is comfortable. All right, so from here, same thing. I'm going to drive the stick down towards the floor and resist it. So all right, so from here, have the hand on the stick and push down. Resist. 3, 2, 1, and ease off. Good. Got 2 more. Push down, resist. Drive that front leg down. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Let's go one more time, folks. Drive down, resist. Breathe, doing good. 3, 2, 1, and excellent, ease off. Now we're going to do that active rotation, internal rotation here. So go and adjust the stick how you need to. Now internally rotate that back hip. Push this stick down towards the floor. 3, 2, 1, back down, nice and slow. Ease off. If you're cramping, that's okay. Go ahead and get out of it. Let's go one more time. Actively internally rotate. Push the stick down. 3, 2, 1. Good. Back down and ease off. Excellent. Good, good, good. All right, so now we're going to work on the spine. What we're going to work on here is we're actually going to work on lateral flexion specifically. So we're actually going to go to a half kneeling position. Let's start with that front leg left leg forward first. And I'm going to have the stick going across my upper back here. Now, we're going to need to be active here, so I want to drive that back foot into the floor here. So my right foot is plantar flexed or extended, so the top of my foot is into the floor. I want to drive that foot down, and I want to squeeze that glute. Again, this is going to lock the hips into extension. We're going to be in a really good position here. Now, keeping my left knee over my left mid-toe, I'm going to have a good stable position here. Then I'm going to laterally flex to my left. You're going to feel a huge stretch Pretty big stretch, not only in the front of the hip, but those obliques. I'm going to come back to center. Now I'm going to laterally flex to the right. Breathe. Back to center. Now to the left. Good. Back to center. To the right. Excellent. Back to center. One more time each way, folks. To the left. Excellent. Now to the right. Good. Back to center. And let's ease off and let's switch sides here. So I'll actually show from the side. So left foot is back. Drive that back foot down. Squeeze that left glute. First, now we're going to have the hands out. And I want to tilt to my right first. Get a good stretch in the front of that hip. The obliques. Good. Back to center. To the right. Good. Back to center. Sorry, to the right here. Sorry. Got my directions mixed up. Back to center. Now to the left. Excellent. To the right one last time. Excellent. Now to the left. Excellent. Back to center. And good. Going to stand up. Now we're going to get in a little bit of kayaking, just to loosen up the shoulders a bit, and then we're going to get into doing some spinal extension lift-offs here. So let's go to get into it. I'm going to have my hands gripping out at the widest part of the sticks, and I want the stick to be right under my chest, so right where that little divot is here. So from here, left hand up. I'm going to drive the left hand forward, right hand comes back, up and over. Good. Nice and slow here. Don't want to rotate the spine too much. Just trying to get the shoulder blades to glide along the rib cage. Breathe. Excellent. Let's go backwards. Keep those elbows straight. Breathe. 3, 2, 1, and excellent. Good. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to grab that second stick here. So again, we're going to be in a position where we're in an extended position and we're going to lift off. As we do that here, we want to make sure that our core is tight and we're not moving or changing angles of the spine here. It's really, really important. So I'm going to have roughly about a hip to shoulder width stance, whatever's most comfortable for you. And I'm going to have the bottoms of the sticks about roughly a foot in front of the line of my toes here. You can have them a little closer if you need to, adjust as you need. So I'm going to have my hands about roughly shoulder height. Now what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to lightly drive the sticks into the floor about 15%. Now keeping the arms straight, drive the hips back, drive the arms out. Get to that max end range here. I'm going to drive that left stick down a little harder, hover the right, place it down, drive that right stick down, lift the left. Good, back down, come up, ease off. So what you're going to feel here is you're going to feel not only the serratus anterior, but you're going to feel the shoulder blade working quite a bit in that upper back. Let's go again. So you can move your hands lower if you'd like. So drive the sticks down lightly. Keep control of that rib cage. There we go. Doing good. Hover the right. back down, over the left, back down, come up, and ease off. Let's go one more time here, folks. Arms extended, drive the sticks down, hinge. Good. Keep that chin down. Hover the right stick. Good. Back down. Hover the left. 3, 2, 1. Back down. Come up. And ease off. Perfect. Now, I do want to go to the floor here because I do want to work on extension of the shoulders to be really specific here. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now for this drill in particular, we are going to be face down. I'm actually going to use a short stick. You can grab the long stick, whatever you may have room for. So for this face down position, it's going to be incredibly important that for one, we keep control of our neck. So we want to feel that our chin is not only down, but we're pulling that neck back into extension to activate those extensor muscles, not only in the thoracic spine, but the upper spine and cervical spine as well. So I'm going to take the stick, and I'm going to place it behind my back. I want my palms to face up towards the ceiling here. Now what I'm going to do, gripping with my palms facing up, I'm going to bring my chin down, and then I'm going to pull my chin back. So I'm going to get some extension. You should be feeling that upper back kind of light up a little bit here already. Now from here, I'm going to pull the stick apart about 30% tension, and I'm going to pull my shoulder blades together, drive the stick downwards towards my feet, and now I'm going to lift the stick off, hold, good, 3, 2, 1, back down, and ease off. Excellent. So you're going to feel those lats engage. You're going to feel that mid and upper back engage. You're going to feel the mid and lower traps engage. We're trying to get everything woken up here. Let's go again. So chin down, pull the chin back, pull the stick apart, drive downwards towards the feet, lift the stick up, keep those arms straight. 3, 2, 1, back down, and ease off. Let's go one more here, folks. So the closer your hands are, the harder it's going to be. So that range can increase as you actually start to go out wider. But trying to go for a little bit of a challenge here. So arms straight, pull the chin back, pull the stick apart. Stick goes down towards the feet. Lift the stick. Good. 3, 2, 1, and ease off and relax. Excellent. Good. Now we're going to switch gears into doing a single leg drill. We're going to specifically work with the single leg RDL. However, we're going to use a stick behind our back to keep some good rigidity, but also again work on that patterning. All right, folks, so I'm going to grab the long stick, and I'm going to have the stick placed behind my mid back. Now, the reason why, and also on the crooks of my elbows, the reason why here is, for one, we are not really able to fully cheat the RDL here, but also it's going to keep us very, very accountable, at least in terms of spinal position and movement. So having the sticks as the crooks of my elbows, right on my mid back here, I'm going to have both feet together. And so again, I want to keep control of the pelvis. So I want to make sure that the pelvis is facing towards the ground the entire time. So I'm going to grip the ground with my right foot. I'm going to hover that left foot off the floor. Now I'm going to lightly drive my hands forward, get a little bit of tension here, and I'm going to start to slowly go into an RDL. I want to keep as much balance as I can. Drive the heel back, come up, and ease off. Awesome. Let's go a couple more here. Make sure you're grabbing the ground with that foot. So grab the ground with your right foot, hover the left, drive your elbows forward, gonna hinge. Gonna get a little bit of a stretch in that hamstring here, a little load on that glute. Back up, ease off. Good. Let's go a couple more here. Grab the ground with the right foot, hinge, control it, control, back up, ease off. Excellent. Let's go one more time here, folks. Hover, drive that heel back. Good. Up and ease off. So now I'm going to turn forward so you can also see from the front as well. So now I'm going to go my left foot. So hands are here. Drive forward, grip the ground with that left foot here. Hover the right. Going to slowly hinge. Driving that right heel back. Back up. And ease off. Good. Let's go 3 more here. Hover the right foot. Hinge. Nice and slow. Keep it controlled. Try to keep everything stacked to the best of your ability. Up. Ease off. Good. 2 more. Hover the right foot. Hinge. Doing good, doing good. Control. Drive that right heel back. Up. Ease off. Let's go one more time here, folks. Hover the right foot, grip the ground with the left. Hinge. Drive that right heel back. Up. And ease off. Perfect. Good. So it's a really good way to kind of, again, pattern that single leg RDL there. Just trying to get the movement in, load up those hips a little bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to a split stance. So I want my right foot forward. I want my left leg back. Now the distance is going to depend on you. I'm going to go with a relatively medium-ish kind of a split stance distance. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to actually work on plank style position drill. So with this, we're going to have the stick, and the stick is going to allow us to get into rotation, but also generate tension in these different positions. So we're going to go towards the leg and then away from the leg. So we're going to start off forward first. Right leg is forward. I'm going to load that front leg. I'm going to drop that back knee down just a little bit. I want to squeeze that back glute. Keep everything up nice and straight, stacked, hands about chest height, and I'm going to drive that stick into the ground about 40% tension. Good, I'm going to ease off. I'm going to pick the stick up, go from 12 to 1. Same thing, arms straight, make sure those legs are loaded, drive the stick down 40%, push. You should be now feeling those obliques kick on a little bit more. 3, 2, 1, ease off. Let's go to 2 o'clock. Good, same thing, arms straight, drive the stick down. 3, 2, 1, good, ease off. Gonna come up. Now we're gonna go to 11, same thing. Make sure that right knee stays in center line with the foot here. Arms straight, shoulders down, drive the stick down. Now you're gonna feel those left obliques kick on. 3, 2, 1, excellent, ease off. Let's go to 10. Arm straight and drive the stick down. 3, 2, 1, ease off, back forward. Now we're going to switch sides. So the good thing about that drill is not only are we actively strengthening the core, we're actively strengthening rotational patterns there. So I'm going to have my left leg forward, right leg back, ball and toes of that back foot here. Again, we're going to load that front leg. I'm going to switch my hands. So my right hand was stacked on top, now my left hand will be stacked on top here. Make sure you keep that front foot active. Arm straight, stay nice and tall. Bend that knee, squeeze the glute, and drive the stick down 40%. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Ease off. We're going to pick the stick up, go to 11 o'clock, place it down, and push. Good. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Pick the stick up, rotate to 10. Same thing. Push down. 40%, folks. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Ease off. Pick up. Let's go to 1 and push. Remember, it's 40%. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Pick up. Let's go to 2 and push. 3, 2, 1. Good. Ease off. Come back to center and relax. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to get into deep fascial stretching and a cool down. So let's actually start off with stretching out the neck and trap area. We're going to move down to doing a single arm hang. This is kind of loosen up those lateral lines and the lats, even a rib cage a bit, all right? So I'm going to take the stick, place it behind my back, kind of like that shoulder extension drill we did earlier. Have my palms facing away from the front of my body. I want to have my feet roughly about hip width apart, toes are pointed forward. Now, I want to have an overhand grip and I want my arms to be straight. It's really important. Now from here, I'm going to lightly pull the stick apart, about 20%, and push the stick down towards the floor here. So this just drops my shoulders down, so now I can access the stretch inner traps. I'm going to pull the chin back, like I'm trying to create a double chin. I'm going to tilt my right ear towards my right shoulder. Back up. Now tilt my left ear towards my left shoulder. Excellent. Back up. Tilt right. Excellent. Tilt left. Excellent. Tilt right. Now tilt left one last time. Excellent. Back to center. Ease off. Now we're going to stretch out the front of the neck here. So I'll turn to the side. Everything's still in the same position. Pull the stick apart. Drive the stick down towards the floor. Pull the chin back. Now I'm going to tilt my chin up towards the ceiling. Back down. Good. Now I'm going to tilt up towards the ceiling and over my right shoulder. So I'm going to tilt up, over to the right. Back down. Now to the left, up and over the left. Back down and ease off. Excellent. Good. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to get into a single arm hang here. So as we get into the single arm hang, we do to make sure a good amount of our weight is actually in our hands to stretch out the lats and the rib cage area. We'll add in a little bit of rotation side to side. So the stick's going to be on my left side here. Get on my right leg forward. Now the stick is roughly about where my mid-thigh is, and I want the stick to be angled outwards here. So again, this is so I can kind of clear a little bit of space to really hang. Start my left hand up, my right hand's gonna be on the stick for support, and I wanna drop that back leg down. You can adjust your footing as you need to. Good. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna drive my left hip down towards the bottom of the stick. So I'm gonna get a little bit of flexion here. Lateral flexion. Excellent. I'm going to come back to center, come up. Excellent. Take a second. We're going to go into it again. Now this time we're going to add in little bits of rotation. The rotation is not going to be much. It's just a little bit though. So left hand is up top again. Right hand is going to be on the stick. Drop that back leg down. I'm going to lightly drop my left hip towards the floor. I'm going to rotate to my right. You're going to get an increased stretch. Now I'm going to rotate to my left. Going to come back up straight. Now I'm going to rotate to my right. Drop that left hip down towards the bottom of the stick. Now to the left. Back to center. Come up. Ease off. We're now going to switch sides. So I'll show from the side here. I'm going to dry my hands a little bit. It's not a bit sweaty. All right, we're going to switch. So now right hand's going to be up. Left hand's going to be on the stick. You can adjust your feeding as you need to. So from here, we're going to drop down. Get a good hang going. Drop that right hip down towards the bottom of the stick. So we also get the quad a bit here as well. In front of that hip, those anterior tissues. Good, back to center. Come up. Excellent. We're going to go into it again. This time we're going to add in those rotations, right? So from here, get a good grip on the stick. Drop down. Drop that right hip down. Rotate to the left. Excellent. Now rotate to the right. To the left. Drop that hip down. To the right. Back to center. Ease off. And relax. Now I just want to finish off stretching out those adductors here. So we're going to get into the straddle stretch. And what we're going to do, because we quite a bit of time down there, is we're going to be doing the walking the hands over and reaching, as well as adding in some rotations there at the end. So I'm going to go to the floor. And so I have the long stick with me still. Now from here, I'm going to bring my legs out as wide as I can comfortably get. Again, whatever doesn't cause any pain here. I want the stick to be right about where the arches of my feet are. Now from this position here, I want my toes pointing straight up towards the ceiling. I don't want my feet to be angled out here. It's really important. So from here, what I'm going to do, I'm gripping a stick, palms down towards the floor. I'm going to pull back, compress on the stick a bit with my feet. So almost like I'm adducting here, create some of that adductor tension. Going to ease off. If you can, wiggle your feet out a little wider. Same thing again. Pull on the stick, straighten that back out. Compress on the stick with the legs. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Excellent. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start walking the hands over. So I'm going to start with both hands in the middle of the stick here. Lightly pull back. And I'm going to walk over towards my left side. So my right hand comes over my left. And then left follows in suit. You want to pull yourself forward and down. You're going to get a stretch in that right QL, reaching with that right hand here. Good. We're going to walk back up to center, hand over hand. Now we're going to go to the opposite side. So we're going to go to the right, reach to the left, pull in, get a stretch in that low back. So if you're pretty tight there, This is going to feel really, really good. Excellent. Walk back over to center. Let's go back over to the other side again. Walk those hands over, reach over with the right. Make sure you breathe here, folks. It's extremely important. Excellent. Back to center. Now, let's walk over to the other side. Reach with the left. Excellent. Walk back over to center and ease off for a second. All right, good. Now this time we're going to add in some rotation. So we're going to stay in this position. We're going to grab a stick in a bit, and then we're going to create tension on the stick and then add in some rotation side to side here. So I'm going to rotate the stick a bit so it's not all bending in one way. And I want to have both feet up again. Now I'm going to pull back on the stick. I'm going to start off by rotating to my right, so my left hand's going to be in the center of the stick. And I'm going to take my right hand off, and I'm going to place it on my chest here. And I'm going to keep pulling on a stick as I rotate open up to my right, reaching my right hand back. Going to bring it back in. Let's go a couple more. Keep pulling on that stick. Rotate to the right. Back to center. Let's go one more here, folks. Rotate to the right. Back to center. Ease off for a second. Now we're going to do the left side. Same position. Pull back. Toes are up. Grip the stick with the right hand. Left hand on the chest. Rotate to the left. Reach back. Excellent. Back forward. Open up to the left. Reach. Bring the hand back in. Back forward. One more here, folks. Rotate to the left. Reach back. Back in. Excellent. Place the hand back on. Ease off. And slowly come out of that position. And that concludes today's Sig Mobility class. Thank you everybody for joining me for the class here today. Again, I just wanted to focus on recovery. Let's kind of get everything moving, open everything up. Hope you guys are feeling good after this class. And I'll be sure to catch you on the next one.